Okay, a lot of you out there have seen these Flint Striker kits I put up a couple weeks back. I've gotten some response about how they work and how they function. So what I've got here is I've got a kit here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things you need to do to use these to effectively build a fire. Okay, we're going to put this one down, and we'll start with what I have on me. I carry. First thing I want to say is if you do have a possibles bag and a shooting bag that has black powder in it, for instance, it's got a powder horn, it also has a priming horn. Black powder and fire don't mix. So I'm going to walk off here, set this off to the side. Okay, today's a pretty good day. We had about 28 degrees this morning when the sun came up. It's probably about 38, 40 right now. Pretty warm day. So it'd be a good time right now. We got about an hour and a half left before the sun goes down. I want to start thinking about building a fire. But as I hiked out here today, one of the things I actually did was I started gathering fire-making materials. And you're always gathering fire-making materials. And one of the things I have here, it's called a purse. But literally it was just a wallet, a purse, a wallet. But it was something that you could walk along, you open it up, and as you find tinder or you find things that will be beneficial to you during the day, you could actually put them in there. And what I did was right here behind me in this grove of pines, white pines, bull pines, they all have small limbs on the bottom, and as the tree grows, those limbs actually quit taking in leaves, quit producing leaves, and they actually start producing a lot of turpentine. So they're a great fire starting material to get your fire started. The one thing you can do is you want to gather as much squaw wood, and squaw wood is something like this that would be just laying around, and I would pick it up, and you want to prepare all this ahead of time. So if I'm getting ready to build a fire, don't build your fire and then start looking for wood. Get your tinder ready ahead of time. And for this demonstration, we're going to build a pretty small fire. We'll get it going, then we'll stomp it out. Fortunately here, out here in the mountains today, we don't have any high winds, but you also want to be concerned if you're building a camp. These are totally different lessons, but you want to be concerned about possibly up what's above you. If you've got a widowmaker, you don't want to camp under it. A widowmaker is a dead tree or a limb on a tree that could come down during the night in high winds. Additionally, you want to look at prevailing winds and where you want to build yourself. Prevailing winds here going to come out of the north, so I would sleep on the downslope of this mountain here. Okay, we're going to get started. Going to go ahead and pull this off, and we'll get some gear out of my possibles bag here. And some of the things that you have in your kit, I have in mine as well. So I carry a striker kit in every piece of equipment that I have. I have one in my shooting bag that I set down. It's a very, very small one, but I have the ability to make fire. I also have one that I wear. I don't have it on now, but around my neck if I'm going out, similar as a necklace, but it's a Flint Striker. It's the ability to build fire. So inside your kit, you're going to have several things. If you saw it online, or if you buy one from me or get one from me, you'll see that there's char cloth, and that is simply linen, cotton, 100%. None of this modern stuff. And then you put it in this can and you throw it over a fire. You cut it in little pieces and you char it. And when you char it, it makes a readily available platform for your spark to catch on, and then you can start your fire. Additionally, you can take hemp, you can take Bermuda, you can take grapevines, you can take additional types of natural materials, and you just sit there, and each of those kits has some sisal rope in it, and you just fluff it up until it almost looks like hair. That's what's going to catch my spark, and that's how I'm going to get started. So as I was walking down today, I gathered a bunch of pine like I was talking about, and I put it in, getting it ready, and you can see how small it is. Very small, but it is full of fire starting materials. So we'll pull that out, get that in. Additionally, as you're going along, if you find a dead pine, typically a stump, you can get out of it what's called fat lighter. And fat lighter, I carry these sticks of fat lighter. They're loaded with turpentine. And what you can do is you can shave these off and make what's called a feather stick. I'm not going to talk about that now. We're just going to go over how to actually build a fire. Okay, so we get our flint and we get our steel. So this is similar to the steels that are in the kits. And what I do is I'll show you real quick is I actually just want to find a sharp edge on that flint. And what I want to do here is strike, and you can see those sparks flying off. And when you strike it, it's not holding it like this or like a hammer, and it's not hitting into it. It's a very, very quick, rapid blow, and almost just like you're almost going to try to miss. And what you'll see is you'll see them sparks flying off. If this piece of flint becomes dull on this end, I can change positions. And again, I'm going to go like this very quickly and light those sparks. You can, if you're building a fire down, you can strike downwards and throw those sparks in a downward angle onto the ground or into your fire pit. Okay, so we're going to start with this flint, and this steel. And the way you want to do this is you want to take a piece of char cloth and you want to lay it on the flint and hold it right underneath the thumb of your non-striking hand. Okay, just like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike, and that spark is going to jump into this char cloth, and I'm going to see it catch, and then I'm going to blow on it. Once I start blowing on it, I'm going to put it in to this ball of twine here, and I'm going to actually start blowing on it until it goes into flames. At that point it goes into flames, then I'm going to address this with this tinder I gathered, and so we'll get it started that way. Okay, char cloth. Strike. You probably can't see it, but it is glowing. Right here, it is glowing. So I'm going to take that while it's burning. I'm going to put it into this. Try to use as little of this as you can, because you need to collect all this. And I'm going to put it and make it like a bird nest. Put it in there, and I'm going to blow. You don't want to just blow with everything, just a long, continuous, steady blow. Once it ignites, you put it down and you start breaking off tiny little sticks and you put them in there. You're trying to get it going. This is where the fat lighter is really effective. I've taken these shavings of fat lighter and I'm going to put them on top of that. And then I can take, at this point, as I'm getting it going, it's kind of tough sometimes to get down on the ground. So what I have here is simply just a piece of cane. And of course, everybody knows it's hollow. And I can stick it down there as a blow tube. And once I get it going, you don't want to address this too fast. You want to go nice and slow. You don't want your fire to go out. And you can see that piece of pine right there is already caught. Now my fat lighter is going. And I'm just going to slowly build this fire up very carefully. Now there's different types of fire depending on which type of weather you're in, what kind of fire you want it to be. You want to bank a fire all night as you're going to sleep next to it. There's different ways you can actually build a fire. But as you see right here, this is very quickly, I can build a fire. And gathering these materials up and having them on hand is especially useful if during your outing or your adventure out there, it starts raining on you. That's a bad time to start looking for stuff. So what you want to do is you want to always have some materials available. And that's why these tins are effective. You can get some stuff in those tins to at least get ignition. And there's ways to always get wood, find dry wood, even when you're out in the wettest of conditions. And as you can see right here, I've got a pretty good fire going. Then I just continue to add. Then I can start building it up. Let it get established before you put too much onto it. And as she gets established there, then we can actually continue to add more and more onto it. Of course, keep in mind, if it's wet, it's going to change how your fire's built. There's also concerns about if you're worried about a smoke signature. You don't want to put any green wood on it once you got it going. But that pretty much is how you put this together and how you do this. And right here again is what the kit comes with. Comes with a Flint Striker, several good pieces of flint, some basically instructions of what I showed you just now. I do package this chart paper up, and then your tinder right here. And again, this is balled up. You'll need to rough it up even more. But one of the things that are nice about these tins is when you are ready to make more char cloth, all you do is you simply cut it up, put it in the tins. I know I mentioned that earlier, but you put it in the tin, and then you would set that tin over top there with the lid on it until it quits smoking out the edges of the lid. Pull it off to the side, let it cool, and then you will have your actual char cloth. Okay, with that, I hope this helps out everybody that looked at that post on those Flint Strikers, and we'll see if anybody's got any comments or anything. Just go ahead and put them in the comment section, and we'll be seeing you next time. And until then, we'll see you from the mountains of Virginia.